Welcome to Precious Gems with April Falcon, where it's all about empowering women to shine bright with faith-based plays to coach you off the sidelines and into success in your career and life. And now with her playbook, full of over 20 years of experience as a leader, preacher, and mentor in hand, to share business strategies with a sprinkle of inspiration, is your confidant, your sister friend, your coach, April Falcon.
All right. Hello, Jocelyn. Welcome to Precious Gems with April Falcon. I am super excited to have you as my very first guest. I'm just like, wow. And I'm super excited because not only do we go far back to our Mount Calvary AME Church in Towson, Maryland days, where our children grew up, specifically Jay with your sons.
Yes.
God has just connected us over the years. And the amazing part is now we've hit this pivot where you've blessed me with helping me to relaunch Precious Gems. Yes. With this brand new format.
So I love it.
Yes, I do too.
And absolutely honored to be here. And first guest, thank you.
Yes, thank you for agreeing to be my guest. And absolutely. For those who listen to the intro, it's our own Jay Renee's voice that gave us the intro. Can you get excited?
Absolutely.
So thank you for getting me to this point. And I am forever grateful. And we're going to jump in so we can learn more about you. We're going to have some of that good old sister talk tonight.
I love it. I love it.
Dropping gems to help ladies everywhere.
Absolutely.
Because after all, at the end of the day, Precious Gems is about encouraging women, inspiring them, empowering them to be all that God has called them to be in the kingdom. Wonderful. So I just want to talk to different women, starting with you, of course, to hear stories, hear those gems dropping so that women can say, oh, she did that. I can do that too. Or hearing her story just hit me and it gave me what I needed for that extra push to get to where I need to be. Because my theme for this first season is Woman Arise and Reach for it. So we're going to do what we can with dropping some gems to help women reach for it. Can you get excited?
I can get excited.
Yes. So first, I want to officially introduce you by sharing your bio, which is amazing, by the way.
Wonderful.
Totally amazing, because tonight's first episode is all about passions. Yes, and turning your passions into profits. And I think you've done that in such a creative way that people will think, wow, never thought about that.
Exactly.
Yes. So
me included.
So I'm going to quickly read your bio and then we'll expand and flow from there. Does that work?
That's good. That works.
Okay. So Jocelyn Jay Renee Wason describes herself as a storyteller whose purpose is to inspire people to live fulfilled lives for practically free. I love that part. This storyteller is obsessed with thrifting and embracing a healthier lifestyle as a curry craving, all right, curvy thick, all right, vegetarian that flexes part-time as a vegan. Yes. She has a master's degree in physical therapy and has been practicing for over 24 years. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Contributing to enhancing programs as varied as motor room activities for severe and profound students, to exercise programs for postpartum pelvic floor patients, and is now focusing on perinatal equity in healthcare. Wow. You're doing it. That's reaching for it.
Come on, all the hats.
Yes, I love it. Jocelyn's passion, however, lies in creativity and self-expression. That's the part we all love about you. It is her mission to use creative expression in various forms that stimulates all our senses to encourage, educate,
Yes.
enlighten, and entertain, and in doing so, empower. Yes,
Yes. See?
empower. Woo! Jocelyn, who goes by Jay Renee as her creative moniker, tells stories as an author,
Yeah.
playwright, and spoken word artist. Yes, we know
Yeah.
you for that so well too. She penned 2 novels in the Anointed Breath series, released an eclectic blend of music and poetry entitled Words on Purpose,
Yeah.
and enjoyed the honor of having an original play chosen to be presented at the Atlanta Black Theater Festival to a sold out crowd. Woo! That's reaching for it too.
Yes. Yes.
Wow. And a woman arise.
Come on.
Poised for pivot after in person performing was impacted by the pandemic,
Mhm.
Jocelyn took a flight of faith that has her creating as a voice actor.
Yes.
Yes. A self proclaimed queen of thrifting on a greater mission to encourage a greener, eco friendlier approach to fashion consumption. She expresses herself through the clothes and helps others to sustainably slay. Come on now,
Yes.
as a personal thrifter. Yes, that's turning passions into profits
Yes,
right
it
there now.
is. Yes.
Yes. Lastly, Jocelyn will tell you that she loves to tell stories on a plate. And even though she is not a professional chef, embarks on kitchen adventures across continents and cultures to create imaginative and affordable meatless versions of meals to promote the health and wellness of her community. Amazing.
Thank you.
Yes.
This Jocelyn sounds like something.
So I'm going to stop it right there because that sums up everything about you.
Yes. Thank you
And
so
then,
much.
yes. So now we're going to get into some gems here
Yes.
again about you. And I guess we'll start that off. I explained and read your bio, but
Yes.
tell us, who really Jay Renee is and, leading into your passions and things like
Yes.
that.
Yes. Yes. Well, I always like to say that I am carefully crafted layers purposely designed to be exactly who I am. And that
Ooh,
is to create, to share, and to encourage. And as you said before, a storyteller. And
yes.
so part of my story is being a wife. I've been married for 24 years, being a mom. I used to say to 3 boys, but they are men
Well,
now.
that's true.
They're teens and 20s. So 3 young men. I love being a mom. I love being a wife. And just being able to tell stories through my life. And so
Yeah.
that's really what led me to my passion of creative expression. I'm in a prayer group, and one of the things we had to do was like describe ourselves. They said, you had to finish the sentence and say, I am a prolific blank. And I thought to myself, like, oh, I can't say I'm prolific. Like, that would be too much. But I feel like I am a prolific storyteller. I am a
Yes.
poet. I am a creative expressionist. That is my passion.
Yes.
Um, because I want to encourage people and I want to let them know, like, I want to support it. I want to be immersed in it. As you said in my bio, I want you to use every sense. It's not just
Yes.
hearing, it's not just reading, it's not just hearing, but it's everything all together, creating
Yes.
all of those things that drives my passion. And when I can see somebody's life impacted by the type of story I tell, whether I am, helping them to sustainably slay or helping them to pick, a better choice to eat, or literally in my passion as a physical therapist, helping them to walk and get on their feet and make and change their own story. When I see the impact, Like, that's it. Like that's
Yes.
what drives me. That's what drives my passion.
I love it. I love it. And your
Yes,
passion drives other people. And I
absolutely.
think that's the amazing part. And me specifically, when we connected for our collaboration for Precious Gems, it was
Yes,
like the energy that you brought to the table because I was really like, okay, Jocelyn, God said to call you
yes,
to help me relaunch Precious Gems.
absolutely. And
And
I've told you along the way that even your request and even your saying that has pushed me even further, because I would even say, like, okay, well, I'm only going to do this with this particular passion. And you said, no, 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 God said
yeah,
that. And I'm like, okay,
yeah.
I trust that. So again, your passion drives people as well.
Oh,
So see how those things come together. So I thought that was wonderful. Like, I really am still stretching. And that's what's awesome about our passions, that it's okay if
yeah.
it
That's
changes, if
good.
it stretches, if it grows with us as we grow and change and stretch. And it's okay to be pushed sometimes into it, because I think we think we have to go into it easily, like, because it comes to us
Yeah.
so well. Sometimes there is a kicking and screaming period,
Yep.
and then there's a relaxation, and then there's a
Yes.
self-awareness, and then there's a let's go.
Yeah. I love
Yes.
that. And just to pull that thread a little bit about the stretching, I think
Hmm.
that part is so good because I think so many women are afraid to be stretched because
Absolutely.
stretching takes them out of their comfort zone,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes,
And people are, comfortable. Uh, they want to dream, but the comfort takes over the
yes,
dream, right?
absolutely,
So they
absolutely,
never tap into their passions and dreams because that
absolutely.
comfort grips them.
Absolutely. And I would even say, I was even kind of trying to ponder, like, gosh, what would I say about, my passion? And, was it something that I went right into? It really took a long time. I would even say decades, because
Wow.
of exactly what you're saying. It's like first of all, you bully yourself because you think, well, the way I do it isn't like this person. And, I did it. I started this gift was given to me by God. So maybe I shouldn't ask anybody, for money, or maybe I shouldn't go, further into this thing. Or what if I do it and it doesn't look the way I think it should? So
Right.
again, that stretching, that being uncomfortable is what scares most of us and what keeps us back. And so
Yeah.
we'll take little steps here and there. We'll take a little jump into.
Yeah.
We'll take a leap. We even start saying leap, and I've changed that to say flight, because flights go up and they come down, and sometimes they're delayed, and sometimes you're on the tarmac, but you're still moving forward, and it's
Right.
okay to have those moments, in your flight, to say, "Uh-oh, there's a little turbulence here,
Right.
but I'm still going to get to my destination." Okay, I
Exactly.
just have my faith, and I just keep pushing forward. So yes.
Exactly. Exactly.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like,
Yes.
no, it's all right. It's okay. And it's
It's
even okay
okay.
to have your fear. It's okay to have those things. Just don't stay in that spot.
That's
So
the key.
yeah,
Yes,
that's
it's
the key.
okay, but
It's
don't
okay.
stay there.
Yeah,
That's when
yeah.
it's not okay.
That's
Right.
right. That's
And
right. That's
you'll
when it
never become
paralyzes
who
you.
God has called you to be.
That's right. That's right. Trust God. And see, that's
Yes.
what I did with you when when you said, hey, like, now listen, I'm gonna be honest now. Everybody that calls you and say, God told me such and such, you can be like, mm-hmm. But
Right.
because I know you, and I've just seen who God is in you and your family and all of that. I really think it really took me, kind of spying on you on Facebook and just seeing this beautiful trajectory and seeing this change and seeing where you were going, so that
Yeah,
when you got, I mean, literally, it was an out of the blue call.
it was.
But when it happened, it just came together so well. There was nothing at all that was confusing or anything about it. It just flowed. And so that's how you know it was supposed to be. So absolutely, like, definitely trust God and trust who he says you are supposed to be. We get in our own way because we just
Yes.
don't, we trust God, but we don't trust ourselves with what he's given us. And
Yeah.
that's the key.
That's
Trust
so,
yourself. He
yeah,
didn't just
that
give it to you for no
self-confidence.
reason. Yes,
Yeah.
trust
And
yourself.
encouraging yourself through the process.
There you go. There
Yes.
you go.
Yes. Which
Yes.
I think you just summed up what I was going to lead into, how we
Yes.
handle distractions and challenges in our lives.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you're saying, trusting God is a big part of that.
Trusting God is a big part. Even, because my biggest distraction, of course, was me, myself, and I always say it was three people. Because I did, like I said, I got in my head, I bullied myself and said, oh, Jocelyn, you can't do this, or everybody knows you to do it this way. Like if you decide to change, you shouldn't do it that way, and you can't ask for money and you can't do this and that. But then just affirming yourself. I don't know if
Yeah.
you affirm yourself in the mirror, but
Yes,
like I
I
really
do.
do. I really say things to me.
I
And then
do.
I listen,
Too.
I listen. And then, so you do, I just trusted myself. I got over those distractions by saying, I got to carve this time out for me. I have to believe God and what he
Yes.
said. And so I'm ready to move on. I'm not going to stay back here. Don't listen to
Yeah.
yourself. Move forward. Listen to
Yes.
what God says, trust it and believe it, and say those positive things as
Yeah.
often as you can to yourself and believe yourself.
Exactly. Because there's
Yeah.
always that little voice saying, like, what do you
Yeah.
need to do this for? Or
Absolutely.
someone's not going to care that you're doing it. But I think when you have your focus and it's your passion and you're
Yes.
working through it,
Yes.
God will make a way and he will confirm that you're on the right path,
Absolutely.
you know?
Absolutely. Understanding why you want to do it, what you're doing it for helps to
Yeah.
give you some direction as well. And I'll tell you what, like I had some guilt about it as far as turning this passion into profit because I have an incredible job. I have a great job. And
Yeah.
at the time, it's like, and again, we're going to boast on God. Like I wasn't lacking for anything financially, even
Right.
in time thing. So I thought like,
Right.
Jocelyn, you really don't like need money. You know what I mean? I mean, it
Right.
sounds weird.
Right.
We all can use money.
No,
But
I
I said, yeah,
understand.
because I'm like, it wasn't like some people say, oh, I need a side hustle because I have to pay this bill or I have to pay that. God is amazing. I mean, even in the
Yes.
pandemic, even with people losing jobs and stuff, I mean, I was in healthcare, so I had a job. I kept working. I never faltered in that. And it was like, bills paid, a house, house paid. And so I'm like, how dare I have the nerve, to say, oh, I'll do this for you. And here are my hours. And this is what I charge for
Right.
this thing.
Right.
But you had to, again, it's getting past that, getting beyond that and saying, yes,
Yes.
it's valuing yourself and
Exactly.
valuing that gift and valuing what you have and the purpose of what
So
you're
good.
doing. Yeah.
Yes.
That says it's okay. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be, because one of the things I told myself was like, okay, Jocelyn, and please forgive me for rambling, but define your profit. Like when you told me what the
Yeah.
profit for tonight would be, because my first profit was peace. So I
Yeah.
had to define that. Sometimes it's not always
Yeah.
monetary. My
And I'm
first,
glad you touched on that.
yes,
Yes.
my first profit was peace, because then sometimes you think you're failing if you're like, oh gosh, I didn't make a lot of money doing this. But like, did you have peace of mind? Did
Yes.
you impact somebody? Did you get across what you wanted to get across? That's the first thing, is your purpose
Yes.
and your peace.
So good.
What it is.
Yes.
That is your profit. So define what you want the profits to look like at first, and then define what you want those profits to do for you. So like I said, I didn't necessarily need these profits to, pay a bill or do anything like that. But I was like, okay, I can use these profits to give back to my community. So then it helped to
Yes.
direct me a little bit more as to how I want, like how many events I want to do, how many things I need. Okay, I think I need this much because I want to raise this money for this, or I want to be able to put this over to the side for this
Yeah.
particular thing.
Right.
So then it helps to direct you that way, and you don't feel those failures. Maybe if it's like a tougher month than others or whatever, you can plan your seasons and know what
Yes.
how your profits are going to work for you and what you want them to do for you.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
so good. I love how you just laid that out. And ultimately, and I just heard someone say, it takes us from chasing a paycheck to being fulfilled in those profits.
Okay.
It's not always about that cash,
It's
right?
not always about the
It's
cash.
that
Give good work. You
fulfillment.
need money for things, but it is fulfillment. That's what I'm telling you.
Yes.
And you read in my thing, and we'll probably get into this a little bit later, but I always tell people too, like, you're not a business, but you can be, yes. But even personally, if I never created a business for myself, create a mission statement and a vision for yourself. And so that's what I
Yes,
want. I
that's
always
good.
want to see people fulfilled. Because
Yes.
be
Yes.
full, but not fulfilled. We can be stuffed with a lot of things, but it's not fulfilling. It doesn't feel good. It's uncomfortable. But if we're
Right.
fulfilled, wow, it's a constant filling and
Yes.
pouring. It's a cycle and it feels good.
Yeah.
It nourishes you. It doesn't take
It
away from you. It
does.
nourishes. Then you're able to nourish others. And so fulfillment is
Yes.
so important.
Yes.
Then you even
Yes.
have to define what you're going to feel like. How will you know if you're fulfilled at this thing? And that's what I said. I made my list of okay, I'll be at peace. I'll have, I'll be resting good. I'll be eating the right
Yes.
things. Like I'll be less stressed, all of those things. That doesn't mean that those things never ever happen to me. No, but it means, these are my signs and signals that I gotta take a step back, or I need to change some
Exactly.
things here.
That's
Mhm.
good. That's good.
Yes.
Great gems. Woo!
We're trying,
The
honey.
women
We're
are
dropping them.
getting it tonight. Yes.
Saying something, ladies.
Dropping them. And for the men who are ear hustling, I hope they are being blessed
That's
too.
right. That's right. That's right.
Yes. Yes. So I hope we have some men who are ear hustling because,
Absolutely.
yeah, because it does apply to men as well.
It does. It does. And if you really truly are supporting someone, I tell you, I wouldn't be able to pursue my passions as much if I didn't have a partner who was very supportive of
That's
me.
true. That's
And
true.
also in the background, because I tell you, it really was my voice. It wasn't that I had a lack of my husband saying, girl, come on, you
Yeah.
can do this. You know what I mean? Like, and
Yeah.
right there, and I know your lovely, wonderful husband is there with
Yes.
you too, saying, all right, you want to do this? Here's how this is
Yes.
the role I'm going to play. Doesn't have
Yes.
to be in the front and doesn't
Right.
mind being the support. So yeah,
Exactly.
ear
Yes. He's
hustle
the
in here, gentlemen.
producer for this show.
Hello. Ear hustle in here, men, because you'll be able to say something, in grace and understanding that will help your partner. So definitely.
Exactly. Exactly. Because it's
Yeah.
it's a team,
It is a team. It is a
Yeah.
team. It is a team.
I love it. I love it. So now I'm going to switch gears. I'm going to ask you a few questions that I ask all my guests. And the
Okay.
first one is, how do you find balance?
How do you find balance? I'm going to be honest with you, and we'll see what your other guests say. I don't know that if I have found perfect balance, but what I do know, I'm in a prayer group, and every year we pick a word to walk with. And about 2 years ago, I picked the word equilibrium. And I did
Ah.
that because I kept getting these messages from God. And it kind of also went along with what I do as a physical therapist. And I work with people who have vestibular balance issues. Is
Mhm.
sometimes you will not be in balance, but you still
Yes.
can attain equilibrium if you modify and change some things. So even
Yes.
if I tell, so I would used to tell some of my patients, you might have to like hold your head to the side,
Yeah.
lower your center of gravity. And it might look like you're going to fall, but you're not going to fall if you maintain some equilibrium. So some
That's
days
good.
I'm a little off.
Yeah.
Some days it does. Some days you can get
Yeah.
overwhelmed. But again, if you have decided, if you have made a list for yourself of, look, these are the signs of if I'm going overboard, or I need help, or I need to be able to communicate with my partners, with my village, with my family, like I can't do this, then you can bring yourself back. So I'm definitely in a constant state of swinging to and fro, but
Yeah.
I'm understanding that equilibrium doesn't always mean that I'm going to have everything in
So
control, but
good.
I will try to, I can make those adjustments. I can recognize them and say, okay, I got to pull it back a little bit. So I think sometimes that's another thing too. We'd be like, oh my gosh, I can't balance my home life and my family and this and that. Sometimes you're not going to be able to,
Right.
but you can decide which things are going to kind of weigh a little heavier when you're trying to be in equilibrium than others. And you do that again by knowing your passion, knowing
Yes.
your purpose, writing those things down and telling yourself, like, okay, this is the set of things. If I get to this point, I know I got to stop and take a break. If I'm not,
Yes.
I mean, and it was literal things like, I was like, okay, have I drank water this, today? Like, okay,
Yeah.
I need, I haven't eaten. I'm down to one meal a day. I'm rushing around. Oh,
Yeah.
I got to step back. And my partner know that too. Because did you take your medicine? Did you eat? Did you do that? And they're
Yeah.
constantly checking on you. There are checks and balances. And so that's how I kind of keep it together. I'm not always in perfect balance, but I'm really working on maintaining my equilibrium by saying like, ooh,
Yeah.
okay,
I
it's
love
all
that.
right. Yeah, it's all right that some
That's
days there may
good.
be 2 months where I can't work on my passion. I need to put it right over here because the
Right.
professional aspect of what I'm doing is going to take some time and I need to really focus on that. And so I will
Yeah.
do it and not feel guilty. That's where we set
Yeah.
ourselves up sometimes because
Ah,
we
so
said,
good.
we told everybody, I'm launching my website. I'm doing this. I'm doing that.
Yes.
Right. Right. You got a date in
Yes.
mind. And then when you don't get to that date, then you feel guilty and then you feel all these things. But there's no need to do that because it's
Right.
equilibrium. And that wasn't the time for it. Okay.
Right.
So then don't feel guilty because, well, I've already said it out loud. I've already told people I'm going to do this thing. You're
Yep.
allowed to say, all right, I got to put it over here for a minute because these things over here have to work in order for it to come together. So
So good.
Yes.
Love that. Now that's keeping it real with
That's
some
keeping it
big
real. Not
gems.
always. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that was my equilibrium. And look, this year my word is nevertheless. And child, a
Ah,
lot of stuff going
nevertheless.
on. I don't know what happened. I think
Love it.
you think you're picking these words out of the blue, but man, what
They
you're doing
have impact.
it has already been a nevertheless.
Nevertheless.
Year for me.
Yes.
Uh,
Oh my gosh. I
yeah,
love it. And I love how you just unpack
yeah,
the whole aspect of balance, because
yes,
in reality, most of us, are always striving to be in balance. And
yes,
then the
yes.
way you described it, like, some days you're just not going to be in
You're not
balance,
gonna be. Yeah,
and
you're not
that's
gonna be.
okay.
It's
Give
okay.
yourself grace.
Give yourself grace, and you have balanced reactions. That's what they're for. And now I'm going into like
Yes.
my professional aspect. When I work with someone who has dizziness, or they're having vertigo or something out, and they'll say, oh, did you see that I almost tripped. I was like, but you put your hands out.
Yeah.
You see, you did
Yeah.
things to help yourself before you fell. So yeah, some days you're
Oh,
not
so
going to
good.
be. Yeah, you're not going to be always there, but you're
Yeah.
also going to have some ways to access what you need to help yourself. So if you're going like, oh, but you know how to access peace, and you know how to
Yeah.
know how to do those things, you're going to have some
Tapping
unbalanced.
into what you
Tap into
need.
what you need. Yeah, create that
Yeah.
for yourself.
Ooh,
That's what I tell
that's
them. Yeah,
really
as I
good.
say, but you didn't fall. This about almost did, but you didn't.
But
That's
you
what I
didn't
tell them.
fall.
Yes,
Almost.
see, yeah. So you
And
called on
don't
other
faint.
things. Yes.
Yeah.
And so it's
Almost
all
fainted,
right.
but you didn't.
Come on now.
The weapons formed, but they didn't
That's
prosper,
right.
right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So yes.
Ah, that's so good. That's going to help a lot of women.
I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah, because I think people just take it to heart like, oh, I'm out of balance. And then they
Absolutely.
compare themselves to someone who they think is in balance,
See,
not
April, you said
realizing,
something. You
we're
said
all
something.
trying to juggle 50 million things.
Absolutely.
And I think we
Absolutely.
have to get out of that mindset that we're super women. No,
Yes.
you know, it's
Absolutely.
like,
You
come
did
on.
it. Exactly.
It's like, let's
Uh,
move on, people, from that.
let's
We're
move on.
real human people
Yes.
trying to achieve great things in whatever form that looks like each day. For some people,
Absolutely.
a great things is getting up in the morning for them and getting out of
See?
the bed, you know?
Yes.
So that greatness, success, it looks different for
It
everybody.
does. It does. It does. You're dropping some gems.
Yeah. I mean, really, it could be complete, signing up for school made it a great day for them.
Absolutely.
Finishing a
Absolutely.
book, starting that business. But again, you can't discount when, for some people, especially if they suffer with depression,
Absolutely.
anxiety, just getting out of the bed, you
Absolutely. You said
know,
it.
keeps them in balance. And that's something great for them for the day. And that's
Absolutely.
okay,
Yeah, that is okay.
That's
Absolutely.
okay. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Love the gems you're dropping here on
Thank you.
tonight.
Thank you.
Yes. So just a few more questions and
No
we're almost
problem.
done.
Yes, this is
So,
fun.
who do you follow on social media or YouTube? So, specifically, who's Jay Renee's biggest influencer? Okay, you get excited.
I know. You know what? It's so funny. And I know everybody's on the bandwagon, but I was on the bandwagon before everybody else was, and that is Tabitha Brown.
Oh, yes.
I'm like Tabitha Brown because I first started following her because let me say, as of March of next year, I'll be 5 years vegetarian. But I started following her back when it was like just 1,200 of us following as a vegetarian. Back in the day, and she was sitting in her car doing her
Yeah.
videos. But I liked it because she was just kind of like your approach now, just a sister girl, just kind of sitting and talking and saying,
Yep.
y'all, guess what? And she was real and she was raw with it. And she was a woman of faith, but also saying, like, hey, this may not be right, that may not be right, and just funny. And I felt like she encompassed that whole thing of, and even now, gosh, when you think about it, the amazing things that she's doing right now,
Yeah.
she is that, okay, I'm gonna give you some information about food, and I got a clothing line, and I got
Yeah.
and I got some,
Yes. At
some home
Target.
products, and I'm gonna get on here and we're gonna talk about Donna, and we're gonna do this and that, and also showing her family. Like she really is like the whole influence of
Yeah.
the impact and the empowerment and just the real talk that I really like. So I definitely follow her and have been following her for quite some time. And then we're down here in Georgia. I follow Stacey Abrams and I really love
Yeah.
her.
I love her
She's just a
too. And her
wonderful,
book for
positive,
children.
yes,
Yes.
just a wonderful, positive person. And there's a young man named Kier Gaines that I follow, and he's just great because I like him for the mental health aspect. And really, what he says, I really started following him because I have sons, and
Uh-huh.
I just wanted to, from a perspective of a young Black man, just
Yeah.
going through things daily. So I follow him. But I would say the biggest one would probably be Tabitha Brown.
Tabitha
And
Brown.
as far as podcasts go, first of all, I'm definitely following Precious Gems.
Yes.
That's my new one that I listen to all
Love
the
it.
time. But there is one, her name is Dr. Joy. Let me see if I have it. I wrote it down because I wanted to make sure I told you guys the right thing.
Yeah,
Joy
yeah.
Bradford. She
Okay.
does therapy for Black girls. And it's called, I have
Wow.
listened to all 268 episodes. I listened to her on my ride home. But she's like you, just having a conversation, and
Yeah.
she runs the gamut of everything. I mean, to, Black women in romance novels, to what you should eat and mental health and all of that. So I follow
Yeah.
her, and the Shine app. It's my new thing. Like, these people aren't paying me, but I don't know if you've heard of Shine. It's SHI.
No.
But the Shine app was an app made by women of color for women of color, and it's a meditation app. It is I don't know, like encouragement and all of that. They
Wow.
have articles. So
Love it.
definitely those things
Yeah, I'm
are
going to
important. But
check that
Tabitha
out.
Brown, that's my girl. I follow her and I love
Yeah.
her. And I would hope to have kind of like that same type of, not her trajectory, that's hers. My flight is different, but that's
Yeah.
what I look at. I kind of feel like lifestyle, like this is what I want to be to everyone. I want to be a storyteller. She is a storyteller. And so,
Wow.
storyteller, visually, I want you just auditory, get it in, feel it,
Yes.
touch it, smell it, taste it. So that's immerse your
Love
senses.
it.
Let's see
Yes.
everything. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow. Love it. So that's, you shared some good ones there. I think that are
Yes,
going to help a lot of
yes,
people.
yes, yes,
Yeah, I'm going to check some of them out myself.
yes, absolutely.
But Tabitha Brown, I was already down with her. And then when I saw
Right,
her
she
in
is
Target,
down.
I was like, oh, she in
Yes,
Target.
yes, yes. Uh,
Yes.
and just amazing. I mean, the woman is opening restaurants and doing things, and each
Yeah.
time it is just an amazing thing. And she's so humble with it and so
Yeah.
appreciative, and
Down to
so she
earth.
knows, hey, this is what God told me I was going to be doing. I couldn't even believe it, but here I am. So that's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Love
yeah,
it. Love
yeah.
it. Okay. So,
Absolutely.
one more. What
Mhm.
resources do you recommend to help people with turning their passions into profits so that they can ultimately reach for it?
Okay, so I'm gonna say reach for a pen, first of all. You are your greatest resource. I would
Yes.
say, and I found this kind of even working with my client, April, when you ask people to write down things, you're surprised when you start writing who you are and what you are and
Yes.
what your goals are and what your missions are, because people will say, well,
Yes.
I don't know if I can do, but write a list of all of
Yes.
the things that you are passionate about.
Which is so good.
Write, yeah, I would write a list, define, like I said before, your profits, what
Mm-hmm.
you want them to look like, define your purpose, what you want your profits to do for you. And then I'm also a big believer in mentorship. Like, my
Yeah.
sister and I, we have an LLC that we started called HTIY, and it's here to inspire you. It's the number two because we're twins.
Oh,
And we
love
knew what
it.
we wanted our vision and mission to be because we had seen it modeled by these two more mature women in our community. And we called them up. I'm a big believer in still, no, again, you don't have to wear your mask, but face to
Right.
face and voice to voice. We're in a society of texting and all of that, but
Yeah.
actually sitting under somebody who's done what you want to do and just
Yeah.
talk
That's
to them.
huge.
You don't even, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we just were like, let's have lunch. We came with some
Yeah.
questions. These women were awesome and they were willing to, they're doing
Wow.
great things in the community. And Black women, older women that had, and we live in a part of Georgia that's not, I mean, our part now, we have a lot of people of color, but when these women first started out, they had an art gallery and all these things as women in a very like white area of town. And we're like, how did you
Wow.
do it?
That's amazing.
We call them the ladies of the Lona because they have the Lona Art Gallery and they had all these beautiful cultural things. And so we did. We wanted to sit with these sisters and they were just so willing to be open. So I would say too, get a mentor. But if you're somebody
Yeah.
out there who can mentor, do it. Like that's
Yeah.
the thing too. That's one of our things I think sometimes that gets lost as women in our community is like we are doing great things, but we're
Exactly.
not sharing it. You know what I mean? And
Exactly.
that's why I think when you first told me about this, I was like, this is great because
Yeah.
we need to share and we need to hear and not feel like, crabs in a barrel and like, I know how to do this thing, but I'm not going to tell her type thing. Like, no,
Right. Right.
mentor people, it can only enrich us and strengthen us. So I am definitely a believer in mentorship. But after you have gotten your pen and written things about yourself and what you want your
Yeah.
passions to do,
So good.
mentorship, yeah. And then maybe pick 5 people or five, like social media or whatever that you want to follow that are doing the types of things that you want to do. It doesn't have to be exactly the
Exactly.
same, but doing
Exactly.
the types of things, because I follow, I definitely follow like some folks in pelvic health, and I follow, some folks with, food and vegans and all that kind of stuff. But also
Yeah.
because I want my passion in the community to also hopefully extend to like real estate. I follow some real estate people because I just want
Right.
to see, I want to just have my
Yep.
ear to the
I do the
ground,
same thing.
as to
Yeah.
what's going
Wide
on.
list.
Yes, a wide list because that's what we are. That's what I said. That's those carefully crafted layers. That's the intricate
Yes.
pieces of
And
us.
it
We're
helps
all
us
not just one.
evolve.
There you go.
Yes. With all
You
that
can hear
exposure.
ever evolving, and it's okay. I
Yeah.
think sometimes too we get nervous because we'll say, "Well, oh, I was going to do it this way, and now I want to do it a different way, but I can't because everybody expects it this one." No, evolve. It's okay to change. It's okay to grow. Ultimately, that's what God wants us to do. Anyway, we can't stay stagnant.
Exactly.
How we were, our journey is what it is. My sister and I have a saying that say the journey is the journey. Like we're always
Yes.
expecting it to be like this great goal or something at the end, but like the goal is
Right.
actually the journey. Like like you're
Right.
on it, you're
You're
in it
on it every day. It's the
every day.
journey,
So
your
change.
story.
Yes,
Yeah.
your story is the journey. So change, evolve, let it impact you. You impact it. Let other people
Yes.
impact you while you're impacting others. So it
Exactly.
should be this cyclical, evolving thing. So
Yes.
absolutely,
Love it.
absolutely.
Love it. Love it. This has been wonderful, Jay Renee. Gotta call you that,
Thank
Jay
you.
Renee.
Yes, call me Jay Renee, honey. That's my social fears.
Yeah. Put some swag on that. Jay
Please.
Renee. So tell us how people can connect with you.
Yes. Right now, I would say the best thing is just to go to my website. It's real simple. It's www.injrenee.com. And it's pretty
Okay.
interactive. So once you get there, it'll lead you like to my IG pages. There'll be
Yes.
like contact forms and things like that there. Now, again, as we talk about evolving,
Yes.
it is evolving. It is an evolving site.
Yes.
So there's
That's the
going to be some
beauty of
pieces,
it.
there's going to be some pieces that you'll look at and it'll say, "Hey, we're under construction." It's
Yeah.
all right. But you'll see, if you have questions about having a personal thrifter, you can ask me and I'll help you
Yes.
out there. Or you want someone to create a story for you or a poem. That's what I do. I love it. Or even now my new voiceover stuff.
Yes.
You can just go right onto the contact, leave me a message, and we'll get it straight. But yeah,
Yes.
it'll take you to my IG pages and Facebook and all that stuff. So just hit me up on the website.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I
Yeah.
encourage people to reach out to you and to
Thank
use your
you.
services. Again, the way you blessed me with precious gems, with my intro, my outro, all of
Oh,
that had me vibing. I was like, oh my gosh, that's me
mm,
she's talking about.
yes, yes.
Yes, yes. So I hope that others will tap into you for
Thank you.
collaborations and
Thank you. Thank
projects
you.
that they have going on, because
Yes.
certainly they are in for a treat. And the way you use your passions to bless others is just
Thank you.
simply amazing. So I
Thank
applaud
you.
you for that, Jay Renee.
I
And
appreciate
I
it.
thank you so much for being my first guest. I feel humbled that you said yes, especially when I'm like, I know this sounds weird, but God is saying you're my
I
first
know that girl
one.
can't say no to God now.
Right. And I'm like, I know you figured, well, I'm done. I helped her get started. And then I'm coming back again. But this
No,
has
this
been a
felt good.
blessing. Yes. Thank
Thank
you for
you.
dropping the gems. And I look forward to connecting again with you. We're gonna bring you back to do some
Awesome.
vegan dishes, talk
Yes, come
about
on.
that
I'm
thrifting.
ready.
Yes,
Absolutely.
hook the ladies up all the way around. Can you get
Absolutely.
excited?
Yes.
Yes. So thank you so
No
much.
problem.
I appreciate you.
Wow.
All
I
righty.
just
Thank you for
had
having
great sister talk with Jay Renee. Yes, she dropped some gems on us about turning your passions into profits, all under the theme of Woman Arise and Reach for It. Because ultimately, the mission of Precious Gems is to drop gems to help women become all that God has called you to be in the kingdom. Can you get excited? So now I want to pivot very quickly and leave you with a sprinkle of inspiration. The Word of God tells us in Jeremiah 33:3 from the Message version, "Call to me and I will answer you. I will tell you marvelous and wondrous things that you could never figure out on your own." So, for those of you who may be thinking, "I'm not sure what my passion is," my suggestion would be to seek God for your answers. Just as the scripture says, call on God knowing that He's going to answer you. And He's not going to just show you anything. No, but God is going to show you marvelous and wondrous things that you could never think of or imagine on your own. Can you get excited? Because we serve a great God who will give us exactly what we need. So, for that, I encourage you to take some time. Yes, take some time to sit and pray. Yes, pray to God, listen to God, and meditate to God so that you can hear all that God wants you to know. Yes, that will help you set the stage to see how you can move forward and identify what your passions are. And then also, take time to write down your thoughts and desires. You see, Jay Renee told us that if you want to tap into those passions, you need to first grab a pen and start writing. Yes, write down your dreams, your desires, your goals, your visions, and then write down what you think of yourself and who you are in the kingdom. And then once you do that, you also want to think about some things that bring you joy and peace. Yes, those are the things that will also help to connect you with your passion. Because ultimately, as Jay Renee and I also talked about, she said that sometimes your profits isn't just about cash money. Sometimes your profits come in the form of joy and peace and that happiness within. Also, finally, consider how your gifts and talents could be a solution or a blessing to others. Yes, sometimes we have to learn to turn the focus from ourselves and to put it on others so that we can help someone else along the way. And then by doing that, we find joy and peace and profits from that. Can you get excited? So, I encourage you to take some time to listen to God, meditate, pray, do what you have to do to find that passion. And then for those of you who have already tapped into your passions and you're straightforward, clear on what those are, kudos to you. I applaud you because so many women never have that opportunity to figure it out. So I pray that God will expand your territory with it and that you will achieve greater levels in the kingdom. And remember, for all of us, at the end of the day, it's never about chasing a paycheck with those profits. No, it's ultimately about being fulfilled. Yes, when you are fulfilled, that's happiness that you can't even describe. And God wants you to have joy and peace all within Him. And He wants you to be all that He's called you to be in the kingdom. Can you get excited? So that's it for today. Thank you for joining, and we'll see you next time with Precious Gems with April Falcon. God bless.
You've been listening to Precious Gems with April Falcon. Be sure to join us on the first and third Thursday of every month for more faith-based business tips. We'd love for you to grow with us. Share this podcast and follow us on Instagram at Just Precious Gems or Facebook at Precious Gems with April Falcon. You can also visit our website at www.justpreciousgems.com.